A command economy is an economy in which the government has the power over the financial management of the country. Imagine for a moment that your friend Sam told his sister Sarah yesterday that he thinks a command economy is an economic system used in countries like Cuba and North Korea. Sarah quickly thought about what the word command means. The word command quite simply means to give orders. Therefore, it's the government that gives orders or has power over the financial management of the country. Let's look at some of the main characteristics inherent in a command economy. 1. The government is in control of the pricing of goods and services. 2. The government makes all decisions for finances in the country, such as hourly rate of pay for workers. The government may even assign people the jobs. 3. Since hourly rate of pay is regulated, also tending to be just enough to survive, people will tend to try and break the rules, such as sell stuff on the black market to make more money. 4. The state has absolute power over all resources. 5. The command economy has state-owned entities as well as privately owned entities that are controlled by the state. 6. People in power, such as politicians, give orders to buyers, sellers, and investors. It might not seem like it, but a command economy does have some advantages. These include low unemployment rates due to the regulation of jobs by the government. 2. Everyone has access to healthcare services and necessary services needed to live, and usually the fee is either low or free. 3. Decisions are made quickly by state or government officials. Example 1. Cuba. Who can forget Cuba as being a tightly run country led by Fidel Castro's brother, Raul Castro? There are many distinctive aspects to Cuba's command economy. For example, housing is free, but no one can own a home because the government owns all houses. Unemployment isn't an issue, but overcrowded public transportation is. Like any command economy, salary is controlled by the government and isn't very high, and the government has control over pricing. It's common for people to work another job without the government knowing, since their salary is so strictly regulated and is only enough to survive. It is against the law, and if caught, the person would face punishment. An example of this is making product and selling it under the table to other citizens. Cuba has foreign banks in the country, but they can't do business with them unsupervised. As for travel, some people are not allowed to leave the country. Government officials can be seen in public areas watching the people at all times, as seen in the following image. Example 2. Many will find a huge similarity to the Korean Party and the party that George Orwell's famous novel 1984 describes. Of course, there were people like Winston and Julia who were against this type of control. Sadly, when the government officials discovered their rebellious behavior, they were punished severely. North Korea is no different. People can be killed in front of the crowd to bring fear to those who don't support the state or try to escape the country. It was reported in 2015 that over 1,400 public executions have occurred since the year 2000. They can also be put in prison and severely abused. There is even a watch for North Koreans in China right across the border. Let's look at the details of the country's command economy, though. The state is in charge of rolling out tasks for making, selling, and delivering goods. It also owns natural resources, banks, transportation, railroads, the post office, and any other establishment related to communication. People can own items passed down to them by their elders and regular consumables, but they're restricted from any other kind of personal ownership of goods that are produced. Corruption is obviously common due to the limited freedom people have. The government controls all international trade, and this has resulted in very little support from the international community. Example 3. Nazi Germany. Let's not forget one of the most well-known command economies of all time, run by Adolf Hitler in the early 1930s. Hitler ran a command economy. Finances, job selection, citizenship, and trade was run by the Nazi government. People even had to record the leisure activities that they were forced to do. Men had to serve in the army, while the government chose the jobs for the people. If they didn't like it, they were put into concentration camps. Anyone who didn't obey the Nazi rule was put there. Unemployment rates did drop a lot, but people lost their freedom to pick up the jobs they wanted. Let's review. A command economy is an economy in which the government has the power over the financial management of the country. Cuba, North Korea, and Nazi Germany are three good examples of countries which have command economies. There are some advantages to a command economy, and these include 1. Low unemployment rates due to the regulation of jobs by the government. 2. Everyone has access to healthcare services and necessary services needed to live, and usually the fee is either low or free. 3. Decisions are made quickly by state or government officials.